Well, Valentine's Day is coming up, Adrienne.
I know, it is. I know. It's my favorite holiday. 4th of July and Valentine's Day are my two favorite holidays.
And what do we have sitting right over there by your right shoulder?
Oh, these are chocolate strawberries brought in by our next guest. I am pretty excited. I just texted a picture to my daughter.
I'm really excited, actually. In the studio, we have Ton Stam, and you are the proprietor of Chocolaterie Stam, and you are kind of my, celebrity. I know that sounds weird, but when you taste this stuff, and
Justin,
I know
you've got to get out more.
Yeah, well, I do get out. That's why I like. No, so they have these oublies, these little oublies. There's like a little pressed, almost. I call it chocolate currency, is what I call it. But they're delicious, and I'm not just saying that because you're a guest in the studio. We have you on air. I love this stuff. It's so good. Why on? And it's Valentine's Day, perfect place to go. Why on earth is your stuff so good? And I know that sounds stupid to people listening, but it's so different from anything else It has this, I don't know, this word sounds weird to people, but it has this weird mouth feel, like it gets everywhere inside your mouth, like a good scotch or something. I don't know. That's a Scotch term, Adrienne. Stop making fun of me.
I'm a wine drinker.
It's so good. It just gets. I don't know. What do you guys do differently? I'll shut up and let you talk. I want to hear what you have to say.
No, I mean differently. Well, first of all, of course, we adhere to our traditions. I mean, we've been making chocolate in some way, shape, or form in my family for over 100 years. I mean, we've been in the sweets business for for a little over 200 now.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
I didn't
we
realize
started in 1816 in a little town called Assendelft, just north of Amsterdam. So, first of all, of course, the European laws dictate partially what chocolate is, like most foods.
That's right. I forgot about that.
European law dictates, for example, that if you put a fat in chocolate that did not come from the cocoa bean, you can no longer call it chocolate.
Oh, really?
Right, you have to call it cocoa fantasy.
Cocoa fantasy. I don't know if I've ever had that.
Yeah. There are very few people. There's now, I think, a permission of like 0.5% or 1% under pressure of a well-known tobacco company who owns a chocolate company in Europe. But in general, most European traditional chocolatiers stick to that standard. So that's a big difference because cocoa butter, of course, is not the cheapest fat out there, even though it's the best fat out there for people. But it's not the cheapest fat out there. So that's one of the ways we do it. Also, in the process of making chocolate, there's a phase where it's conched, and most people do that 72 hours, which is like the dough that creates the chocolate runs in big drums that kind of look like dryers. Well, we do that an extra 24 hours, so that maybe gives you more of that smoothness that you're talking about. So, it's just sticking to traditions that have been around for over 100 years in my family helps the quality. And we're more obsessed with quality than anything else.
So you weren't originally started here in the United States. That's not where you guys. That's you. Where you said you were north of the Netherlands.
No,
but
I'm an
tell
immigrant.
us about the United States entry. How you made entry in this country, and how you grew your Chocolaterie Stam empire.
Okay, well, empire is a big word.
Chocolate
for a little
empire.
company,
It's true,
but-
though. Yeah, I would call it an empire.
Well, I was, and this is proper use of that word for once, literally born above a chocolate shop.
Oh.
Every person's dream.
And
Yeah,
what's
it
interesting about
is.
that is when my folks hit about 50, we moved away from that chocolate shop. My brother stayed behind. His wife moved in. My nieces and nephews were born above that chocolate shop. My brother hit about 50. He moved out. My niece stayed behind. Her husband moved in.
Oh, my gosh.
My niece has now given birth to 4 children in that same bedroom above that same chocolate shop.
Wow.
What an
So-
amazing family story.
And that's on the east side of Amsterdam.
Oh, my gosh.
That's where I was born.
unbelievable.
I'm one of 7 children of my father. I'm the 7th son of the 7th son. And we never were pushed to go into chocolate at all. So my number 2 brother went into chocolate. The rest of us did not. I ended up in money management, financial planning.
Yeah.
Got recruited to move to America in 1988. Had a business here. That financial planning practice is actually still up and running here in Des Moines.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's called Triangle Retirement Planning
That is
Services.
so interesting.
And but eventually I went, man, I miss chocolate.
I
the
bet
way
you
I know
did.
it. So we started by importing it from Holland. So we literally flew it in from my brother, and we sold it that's 20 years ago this year. We started with a teeny tiny kiosk in Valley West Mall. And that's how it started. A lot of people think we started in Ingersoll. We actually started in Valley West Mall.
Okay.
And we flew it in from
Oh,
Holland.
my gosh. What was, like, the best thing that you flew in from Holland? Like, what was, like you couldn't get it anywhere else except for your brother's shop when you first started?
Well, I think it's the general selection of our bonbons. And one of the things that
Bonbons.
sets us apart within the bonbon range is probably our cream filling, which is a lot like eating fresh whipped cream.
Oh, yeah.
It's
really
delicious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that is unique to you guys.
That's a grandfatherly invention. So, yes, that's a well-guarded secret.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
That is delicious.
To get back to, we get a pound of Oublies all the time.
What is an Oublie?
So it's a dark chocolate disc.
It's 70% dark, so what that means that 70% of the chocolate is the solids from the cocoa bean.
Oh,
and it's
my
this
gosh.
dark chocolate. And
I
I've
love
had,
dark chocolate.
Before I had Stam chocolate, it's this dark chocolate, and I'm never a dark chocolate fan, but I had this, and it's incredible. Can you stick around just for a little bit? We have a few more questions. This is Justin Brady, Adrienne Branstad on News Radio 1040 WHO. All right, here we go again. It's Justin Brady and Adrienne Branstad on Saturday Morning Live. The sun is still shining. It's beautiful outside. It almost feels like spring has sprung.
You know, I was going to shovel my sidewalk when it snowed the other day, but I was like, it's going to be 50 on Friday. I'm just going to let it melt away.
Just let God shovel it for you.
I know.
Yeah, so we pleaded on our knees for Ton to stay a little bit and tell us a little bit more about Chocolaterie Stam. And we were talking, you mentioned something really, really interesting. We were talking about those Oublies. I'm obsessed with those Oublies. We eat those at my house. It's that little dark chocolate disc. Yeah. You said they have, obviously, no added butters or anything.
No.
And it's like 70, you said how much percent?
70% of the Oublie is the solids from the cocoa bean. So
right.
It's cocoa.
And it's low sugar.
It's extremely low sugar, extremely low fat.
And then you also said it's high
protein.
in protein.
Okay, you said more protein than the kind bars that I am, or like all the protein bars that I'm buying. So it's better to just eat chocolate.
If you eat 70% dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
as long as it's Chocolaterie Stam chocolate, then yes.
Yes.
Oublies for everyone instead. Put
I can
the
see a
kind
guy
bar down and get an Oublie.
I can see some dudes like bench pressing 400 pounds. They're like, yo, you're going to go to Chocolaterie Stam and get some Oublies? Let's go slam those things.
There's a reason there's a workout studio above our store.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. So it's Valentine's Day. What's the most popular treat? What do people love to get, and how can they get it?
Well, the most popular, of course, on Valentine's Day is always the strawberries. We start dipping at 3 a.m. on the 14th and 2 a.m. with 7 people to drip all the thousands and thousands of strawberries we do. People can just call
So they're
us,
fresh.
order them. Oh, yeah, they're
I mean, they're
fresh.
not made last week and put in the refrigerator. I mean, they're fresh that day.
No, they're fresh that day.
And for those that can't see his
I know,
face, he
he's
was like
horrified.
totally horrified.
He's horrified
at
my question.
He's like, not fresh? Who would do such a thing?
I had no idea. No, he's truly horrified by that question.
Well, the ones you just ate were fresh within like the last half hour.
Oh my
Yeah, we
gosh.
got to talk about
We had
these
those
are
for
good.
breakfast. Oh my gosh.
There's this pretty little metal tray
Unbelievable.
in here with all these strawberries sitting on it that have been hand dipped this morning. And they have the little stems still attached.
I
And
know.
everything.
I took
They
a
are
picture. We'll put it on our
so
blog.
good.
I took a picture before we dug in, so I'll put
Yeah,
that
they're
on our
really,
blog.
really good.
Yeah.
And sometimes for chocolate-covered strawberries, it's almost like the chocolate just works as the packaging. It just kind of holds the strawberry, and that's pretty much the only thing it does. But this, your chocolate. Man, this sounds. I sound like I'm really like brown nosing you or something, and trying to suck up. But it really is good.
Oublies.
You say a lot of the chocolate that you see on strawberries in America is what we refer to as coating, which isn't really
there you go.
chocolate. It doesn't take tempering, it doesn't take any skill, but you can just melt it and dip it, and that's what a lot of people sell. That's actually not really what we would refer to as chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks
Interesting.
like it.
How many
Kinda smells
thousand
like
will
it,
you
but-
make on Valentine's Day?
How many?
How many thousands?
We'll probably do in the range of 5,000 to 7,000
My
that morning,
word.
and then we do some on the 13th. So yeah.
What's your favorite thing you sell? Like, what are the things that, for some reason, there's just you make this amount of them, and they don't all make it to the front of the store. What is that one treat you're always sneaking?
That I love our praline fillings, which is a hazelnut pate filling, and we have several of those. But there's one that we have that has 3 whole hazelnuts in it.
Oh, yum.
I like that a lot. That's one of my favorites. And our cream filling, our plain cream filling, when it just comes fresh off the line.
Oh my gosh!
Man, that's
Are
one
you a
of my
spatula licker when it comes out?
Well, no, I'm not, because my nephew would not allow that. My nephew's pretty obsessed with hygiene. So,
Oh, my
So that would
gosh.
never happen in our place.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
yeah.
Ton, thank you so
Thank you so
very,
much for
very
coming
much
in.
for coming in here today. It was really fun, and thanks for the strawberries.
Oh my
These are
gosh.
outstanding.
They are
very
unbelievable.
welcome.
Give your website and how people can get in touch with you guys for Valentine's Day.
Our website is stamchocolate.com. And you can call us with orders at 515-282-9575.
I do have
Awesome.
one more question. Okay, so on Valentine's Day, do they need to pre-order chocolate strawberries, or can they come in and expect to have some there?
We will most likely have them till the very end of the day.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
Oh my gosh, I love this is one of the reasons I like Valentine's Day, because I get all these fun treats, and it's okay, it's justifiable.
Well, they remove the
like
calories in the month of February
Yeah.
until Valentine's Day. Yeah, the calories are actually removed.
It's like Casper the Ghost. You eat it,
Yeah.
it just falls right through,
Yeah.
and it doesn't affect you at all. No, I love their stuff. We really do keep a pound of Oublies on hand.
I'm gonna
at
have
all
to
times.
try one of these.
Yeah, it's
I've
like
never
if you
even
have
heard of such
you
a
have
thing.
dinner and you're full, but you're just for some reason not satisfied. That's what we'll do. We'll pop an Oublie. Yeah, pop an Oublie, yo. And they're good. They're really good. They have,
and they're high in protein.
yeah, that's what's. I know one of their
So
staff.
they're probably filling.
Yeah. Their staff is very trained, and so I went in there, and as she was packaging up my Oublies, she's like, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah, really low sugar, super low fat."